This poor lady was assaulted November the 2nd in Santo Domingo. She was a victim of a robbery in front of her two minor children, in which she was taking them to school. This this happened and it was captured on video 7:30 in the morning. The robber was struggling with her to snatch her to take her purse. At the scene, the little girl is seen standing in her uniform, and the little boy even tried to defend his mother by hitting the robber in the back, but to no avail. At first, the lady, you know, wriggled the pocketbook out of the attacker's hand, and she tried to run. She didn't have time to escape, so the guy knocked her to the ground in front of her children and took her pocketbook. This happens far too often in the Dominican Republic. Robbery is always close. And this is why, especially at night, you go down a lot of streets in Santo Domingo, Santiago, some of the cities. Even sometimes in the mountains, people are not outside because of robberies, you know. And I have a friend of mine in Santo Domingo. He's a doctor, works in the trauma emergency center. Every day he told me, and it really scared me. I didn't realize it. Every day somebody's getting shot, even people from a robbery. Every day, and he says that even people who are compliant people still get shot. Now, this second story is from Chicago. It's a crazy story. This man kills the other man. This man killed him because he was salty about the price of the drugs that he was buying. Can you imagine? The man is accused in Chicago of killing and dismembering a body because the guy was selling him drugs at a high price. Judson Taylor, 56, confessed to detectives that Kelvin Perry, 37, had been a dealer who supplied him with drugs for years. And he became upset when the guy was asking too much for the drugs. Drugs is a big problem in the United States. Homelessness as well. Mental conditions as well is a big problem in the United States. There was a report that they had another altercation months earlier, and Taylor alleged and stated that he wanted to kill Perry since the last incident. Well, the defendant told investigators in the case that he invited Perry to his apartment on October 23rd at about 1:30 a.m. When Perry arrived, Taylor allowed him to enter the apartment while carrying a knife. He ended up stabbing Perry in various parts of his body, and Perry tried to escape, but he was unable to do so because the exterior door was padlocked. Court documents from the case referenced by Crime Online indicate that Taylor stabbed the victim 10 times and he died on the kitchen floor. He said that he rolled up Perry's body and placed it in the cooler for the next few days. He dedicated himself to removing the remains and cut them into the pieces. According to evidence, from the authorities, the suspect used a pruning saw to cut off the body and the head and an axe for the arms, and he used wire cutters for his fingers. Then he says he was surprised that that the dead don't bleed like he thought they would. He said, noting that no blood was coming out of Perry's body when he took him out of the fridge. In addition, he stated that he was surprised how efficient the saw was in cutting the victim's arms. Well, they ended up catching this guy, and they found a piece of the torso in the trash behind Taylor's building, and the arms were found in an alley close. They were unable to recover the head, fingers, and another part of the torso.